Alright. Is your mic on?
Hello, everybody. Yes, I believe so. Yes, my mic is on. All right. Hello, everybody. Evan will be in here in just a second. He was grabbing the food, but I don't see the food, so I don't think it's... Oh, he was getting water. Why did the chat disappear?
No, the food is like 5 minutes away. Were you going to build Hedwig?
I guess I can try and build Hedwig in 1 minute. I think he's sitting over there. Hello, everybody. I'm trying to get chat to show up on the correct screen, so give me just a moment here. We have unforeseen technical difficulties.
Here, you can build Hedwig, and I can work on moving chat over. Where did it go?
That's the question.
Okay. Hopefully you can all hear us. My mic is on, and according to Paul, his is on too. And
I guess
you
I
actually ran
resealed
yours
it
through your shirt. Mine's
Yes.
just hanging out. That's okay. The garage is open today. We just had a brief discussion / argument.
Yeah, I'm not dealing with the
name-calling
heat
session.
anymore.
Paul is lame and can't deal with
That was not the
heat.
words you were going to use.
No, it's not, but it is what I can say on the screen. Yeah.
Hedwig's not in here.
What? Oh, wait. Where is it?
I have no idea. Okay,
Is it
well,
in your room?
No, it's definitely not in my room.
Check all the shelves.
There's a Minecraft box floating around somewhere.
It's over there.
But then again, the food will be here by the time.
Well, no, the people want to see you build, Paul.
Oh, they were not told that we were going to be building. You know, we still
Yeah, they
haven't
were.
done an
It
introduction and said
says
hello
on
to
the thing.
everyone.
Oh yeah, hello everyone.
Hello, Will. Hello, Nikolai. Hello, Cynthia. Hello, Joey. Hello, Funvic Creations. Hello, Bricknut. And
You
I
opened the
already said
garage
hello,
more.
Cynthia.
Why'd you do that?
Because it's too hot in here.
It's so frustrating. If you can't tell, we're in a bad mood. I'm in a really bad mood because Paul's incapable of... You're even wearing shorts.
Yeah, it's hot.
It is not hot right now at all. It's
Okay,
actually
do you
so
remember
much
we
cooler.
proved this last time? You were like, oh, it can't be more
Yeah,
than
it was like
75
80-something degrees in here.
And it was like 80 something.
Yeah, it was like
So,
80...
I think you are the one that has issues.
What?
All right, I don't remember.
Oh, you're building that set. I thought you were going to find Hedwig.
No,
in
no,
your
I have
box.
no idea
Oh,
where
I
Hedwig
see.
is.
Okay, well, the title's wrong now.
Oh, I didn't know that you.
Yeah,
you
it's
made
in the title and the
I thought we were
description.
just doing Chow N Chat.
No, we were not.
Well, I guess the Google search algorithm is going to penalize us for lying to our audience. All right, guys. Now we are actually paying attention. We've got 6 concurrent viewers. I think the intro might have had something to do with that, but
Lack thereof.
fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, they.
All right, so today I am building the set 21141, the zombie cave. More accurately, I'm finishing that. This I started, I don't know, like 2 or 3 months ago. You might also see
the last
that
Chow N Chat we did, just I found out based on trying to create this one, was actually in June. So it's been a long time since we've done
wow.
this.
Wow.
Just the concept of us eating.
Okay. That's a
Which
long
is interesting,
time.
yeah. Did we say hi to everyone? Did you say hi to everyone?
I have not said hello to Jameson Herzl yet. Hello,
Jameson, welcome to the stream.
All right, we're going to test your theory.
What
They're
is
going
my
to try
theory?
and talk to us.
Okay. We'll find out. They're not here yet.
Oh.
But we will test that theory. You probably, I don't know where they are. They're in some other neighborhood. We got DoorDash, as we usually do for these types of things. And Koa? Is that how you say that name?
Looks like it.
Koa is in some random neighborhood. Not with us. Maybe he is dropping off an order. A separate order. Brixico, welcome to the stream. How are you? Today's with Chow N Chat. Paul lied. He's not actually building
Hedwig. We couldn't find it. I couldn't find it.
He couldn't locate Hedwig, apparently. I feel like it's in your room.
I don't know about that. Maybe.
Because it is like almost, it's pretty close to done. So Paul's now building this Minecraft set, whatever this is. The zombie cave. Cool. We'll put that up there. And we're waiting for wings. Oh, no, they turned around. I guess they went into the neighborhood to turn around because they missed a turn. But there's another option for a turn.
Well, it could also be that they were dropping off somebody else's order. Hello,
Maybe.
Oh, Bricknut says, have you ever built a mock?
Not really. I have not built a big one.
Yeah, yeah.
Little
when I
thing.
was a little kid,
Right.
yeah, all the time.
Everything was a mock.
But no. Dunder Mifflin Brick Co. says, "Sup, boys."
Welcome to the stream, Dunder
Sup,
Mifflin.
Dunder Mifflin. Brixico says, "You guys are some of the only dealers that I know that get to have fun building." Yeah, we're Lego dealers.
Yeah. I mean, technically.
I guess technically we are, but
yeah, we still enjoy building, I think. Sunita, welcome to the stream. How are you? This will be a nice casual stream of Paul maybe putting on 15 parts.
yeah, if we're lucky.
We're waiting for Koa to deliver our wings.
What are
now,
you doing?
I am going to talk to the viewers. The 7 people who are with us, 8 people who are with us. Welcome to the stream for everyone.
Kind of odd. These actually historically have usually done very well.
Yeah, these have done better. Now, we haven't been really active on YouTube much, which is probably part of it. So
we haven't really been active on anything.
No, we really haven't. So that's probably a majority of it, I'd say. We are doing well, Sunita. How are you? Jameson asked, where was the vlog this week? We didn't have enough content due to us just not filming enough and kind of not actually being in here very much.
We have decided that the house has sat unfinished long enough, and so we basically took this week off and just worked on the house. You can see I have paint all over me. But the good news, the house should be done by Monday, hopefully. Well, almost done. There's a couple little touch-up things, but
yeah. So for those of you who don't know, I guess if you haven't heard this, we have we did
for 8 months. No, almost
very close to a year. Well, actually, I would say about a year ago we started remodeling this house. Before we were going to move in January. Initially, I think we were going to move in December, and that got pushed back. I ended up having COVID. Many things ended up happening, but so we pushed it back to January, and the majority of the house was done before January. The bedrooms were all done, the bathrooms were done, the flooring was all in, except this one back room. And then we had just the kitchen countertop, which needed to be redone, which we did in the first few weeks, or first couple weeks, I'd say. So for a little while, we cooked in the living room or family room area. And then we got that countertop done, and we can move into the kitchen. And then the backsplash never got done. So I would say probably from when? Maybe we probably actually slowed and stopped for the most part in February, right? We never made any big progress, tiny little things here and there. So from February to mid-September now, we have, tiny little things around the house, cleaning up the backyard, planted the grass, little things that weren't a huge thing. But there was no backsplash. And the back room, the living room,
was completely unfinished.
No floor, no ceiling. I mean, ceiling obviously, but no no finished ceiling. There were foam beams up that were decorative. We took those down, and those sat outside for months, so those were ruined. So this past week or so, we put the ceiling up, which is shiplap ceiling. The patrons will all see this very soon. Shiplap ceiling. We made beams, wood beams, because it was easier and cheaper than either replacing the foam or fixing the foam. That were up there, so we spent a ton of time doing that. The floor just got finished yesterday. We put the baseboards in today. We just need to, after the stream, we'll go patch all the little holes, and then we can do the touch-up paint and stuff and do a piece of silicone or a bead of silicone across the top. And then we literally need to, the house is so dusty.
Yeah.
Because of all the stuff that, essentially it's a concrete slab, that back room, and the concrete slab is so dusty because it's 40 years old, or maybe more than that.
Yeah.
That was an addition to this house, but it's probably 40 to 50 years old, I'd say. And all of the concrete is starting to peel up. Plus, on top of that concrete, there was tile that we chiseled out back last year, pretty much.
Horrible.
Horrible process. But so that cement on the tile was still continuing to kind of lift up and stuff. So since we'd been walking in there a lot and walking through the house, essentially we just tracked a ton of dust through the house. So the house needs to be completely swept and vacuumed. But other than that, the back room, the couch can go in and everything now, and it's actually ready. It's livable, which is so exciting because there's no longer this massive to-do list of stuff that needs to get done. So, yeah. All right, I will go out front.
All right. So, yeah, the house It's finally almost done. We do need to put some quarter round in because there's like some spaces on the beams on the ceiling. Once again, patrons, you guys will see it, and we may post a couple pictures in general chat. But yeah, so almost done, and we got to do a deep clean. But let's see, what did we miss in chat? Brixico asks, have we decided to go 4 acros high? We've always done 4. Yeah, we've always had 4 acros. I mean, we have 5 in the first row all the way back there, but yeah, it's we've always had 4. Dunder Mifflin says, I finally got my store to 120,000 parts and sales have reflected it well. Fantastic. What's your daily sales average, if you don't mind sharing? Sunita says, have you got a room where you're going to put your Lego builds in? No, that's the struggle.
No, I don't think there's a
room. Yeah.
You know what? When we move to the warehouse area, although if it's a really tall warehouse, it would be cool to put like, you know how we mounted just those up?
Yeah.
It would be cool to mount.
Am I finishing or are we eating?
It's totally up to you. I personally prefer to eat.
So.
Okay, so I don't know what you're talking about. You can keep going.
But yeah, always had 4 acros. Fantastic on reaching 120,000 parts. We don't know where we're going to put the Legos. Most of them are probably... What did you get?
What do you mean?
It's a soda.
Coke. What is that?
Be warned, it's diet.
Oh, no. I hate Diet Coke. All right, well, not drinking that. That's okay. I didn't really need Coke anyway.
Yeah.
Although, no sugar, so it's healthy.
But, no, it's not. Funbrook Creation says, I'm glad it is living before you go into winter. Well, winter here is like 60 degrees
we actually
instead of
lived
70.
last year through the winter.
Yeah.
With, like, because the back door, the little things we were doing through February, the back door and the front door didn't have seals. Like, there were a few things that didn't actually happen.
These are some interesting onions. So, for those of you who don't know, eventually it will be a video possibly, but I don't encounter onion rings that I enjoy, but I feel like I should enjoy the concept of onion rings, so I've been trying to sample tons of different onion rings and understand on a metaphysical level why I do not enjoy onion rings. And these are some very interesting onion rings. I can't say I've had onion rings that quite look like this.
I would also like to point out how interesting my boneless wings look.
Yeah.
They're breaded in a very interesting breading. So, we'll see.
So, we haven't told people what place this is.
Right, that's what I was trying to do, and then I forgot.
Go ahead.
I don't remember what it's called.
Okay, it's called Jolene's Wings and Beer.
Joanne's.
Joanne's.
No,
it's
Jolene's.
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 Wing and Beers by Lazy Dog. Lazy Dog is like it's like Claim Jumper. Would probably be the best way to describe it if you
I've
have
actually
Claim
never been
Jumper.
to Lazy Dog.
It's like a sit-down tavern. The focus is less on the drinking and more on the food, but it's like that aesthetic.
So the food's good at Lazy Dog.
Yeah, the food's
So the
pretty
food
good.
should be good here then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it looks like it's coming from the same restaurant.
It is.
So, this is so depressing.
Just don't drink it.
But I need some flavor, some additional flavor.
Diet flavor?
Yeah, it's
The aspartame, whatever it is.
yeah, aspartame.
Yeah, I don't like that flavor.
No, it's horrible. I was reading some stuff on why, like why the different fake sugars have different tastes and stuff, and they actually have, it's because they're too sweet, so they have to cut it with other stuff.
They can't just add less?
I guess not. No, they have to mix it. Yeah, it's very interesting. Like the least sweet of the sweeteners is like 300% the sweetness of sugar. It's like crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Dunder Mifflin says, Brick Freedom says 2.5 sales a day, but I think it's more. It isn't consistent. Some days I get 6, some days I get 0, some days 2 massive orders. I care a little more about average order amount, which is up. I went from a $12 average sale to a $22 average sale. Okay. Yeah, that seems like pretty good for that size.
Yeah.
our sales have been absolutely horrible, but
like really bad.
I don't know. Do we want to?
Sure,
we are matching your sales per day right now.
Yeah.
We have 2.5 average.
Our order average is also up.
Yeah, it's at 30.
It's at like 33 right now, which is really good. But
still, it's horrible.
Yeah.
How many parts are we at right now?
225-ish, somewhere around there. 220 maybe.
Okay, so we're like, I don't know, plus 60% your size or something like that. My math is horrible, but and doing the same in sales per day, but we also have not been doing a ton of work, so.
Yeah, this past week was really bad. We actually, the week before this past week, we set quotas for ourselves.
And we immediately...
And then this week we just didn't do any of those.
We had this whole conversation where we're like, you know, the reason the store isn't doing too good is we're just lazy. We're not able to focus on it like we should. We really need to start taking this more seriously. And then we immediately take the week off and go work on the house. So.
And like the orders were still packed. Paul packed all the orders this week, but also
there's two that still need to go out.
Got slowed. Oh really? I didn't know. We temporarily took away that we ship same day thing. That's temporarily not a thing in our store, but our contractor couldn't make it in on Monday as well. So there were a few things that kind of snowballed this week.
And there was an absolutely insanely large order.
Yeah, this week was rough for sure, but we spent the majority of the week in the house working on it. And in all honesty,
I think it was probably a good use of the time.
I do too. And the amount of work we got done in a week was actually really good. Considering we can just kind of look at that and be like, okay, there's, or not even look at it and think, oh, there's stuff to do. It's just done, which is really good. So I'm gonna eat this with a fork because currently they are, or these are sticky. I'm also gonna go get some ketchup for my fries. So I guess I'll be back.
Yeah, we don't have any other flavored drinks, do we? No,
just
it's fine.
Water.
Yeah, I'll just have water. Well,
I saw
usually,
there was a comment. Hold on, there was somewhere.
Drink sparkling water, so unnecessary drink soda. Yes, I have cut back my soda consumption to an absolutely insane degree, and so when I do get soda, I'm very excited about it. And today it was diet soda, so I'm very not excited.
Yeah, I don't drink that much soda.
I don't have it in the house. Well, actually, I used to have some Coke for Jack and Coke, but I ran out and never bought more, which I need to do. But
I was never allowed to have soda as a kid unless we ordered from, or like went out to eat or whatever.
Same.
So I never got used to there being soda in the house. So like, there's no soda in the house. It's only if I go out, I might get a Coke or whatever. And Coke's the only soda, which I know isn't good. It doesn't make it better, but that's the only soda I actually kind of enjoy. I don't think there's another one that I can think of. I like lemonade. Lemonade's good. But I don't think there's another. Nothing I can think of. We had a discussion last week, or a couple weeks ago, on soda.
We did? On
Mountain
stream?
Dew. Yeah.
Oh.
And all the other things that came along with it.
Sorry, did I ask? May I try one?
Sure, I haven't tried that yet.
Okay.
The Brick Room, welcome to the stream. We've been very busy, which is good. We were working, sorry, I'm chewing, but we just spent a ton of time talking about this. We just finished, for the most part, the renovations inside the house, so that can be called done. There's like baseboard paint that we need to do, the touch-ups and stuff, but very, very minimal work left, so we can actually call the house complete, which isn't, well, we need to redo the front yard at some point, but
let's not talk about that.
We're not going to do that right now. Yeah, so, yeah.
Thank goodness nobody here actually knows where we live, but our neighbors are not happy about the state of our front yard. And I will say, it does look pretty bad, but it needs to be taken care of, but we've been procrastinating it.
Well, in our priority list, it was not at the top. It was way at the bottom, but now that we've checked the majority of the other things off, I think it kind of almost is the top. Besides getting back working in the store properly, because that needs to happen. So, essentially, and I think it's a rough goal, and we'll see how well we do. We're going to try to add 2 bins of parts per week, which is roughly 40 pounds. It'll vary a lot based on what categories and stuff are being added each week, but we're going to try to add Paul's going to catalog a whole 20-pound bin per week, which will be one category. That'll also fluctuate based on what that category is. Plus, we have one cataloger who's doing a bin per week right now. Again, about 20 pounds based on the category that it is. So in theory, if Paul does one and I do one,
Don't we? Oh,
or sorry,
she
sorry.
goes a bit slower.
If
yeah.
Paul does one and the cataloger does one, then we can add those 2 bins that have been cataloged per week, assuming we have drawer space, which is still a concern. But with our Patreon chat, which is really cool, actually, I think. Oh, actually, a lot of our patrons aren't here. I just noticed that. But that's something we do. Fronberg Creations is a new patron. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
Something we do, though, recently. No, not recently. What? Something we just did recently, last week, was the Patreon-only chat where we talk with the Collector's Edition patrons. And we bounce a ton of ideas off each other and stuff. And something we've kind of decided is we need to stop taking half of a drawer for just a single lot, especially if we only have like 1 or 2 quantity. We went through our inventory and we have like 1,900 lots or something that only have quantity 1. Now, a few of those are going to be instructions, some are going to be stickers and stuff, but I'd say probably 1,500 pieces or more of that is single lot pieces that are probably taking up half of a drawer, which is a colossal waste of space. So we're not going to put 40 lots in one drawer, but for the lots that we only have 1 of, we might stick, I don't know, 15 to 20, depending on what size the pieces are and stuff, in half of a drawer, because it's just not worth us wasting, we'll say 800 to 900, maybe 1,000 drawers that we could be using, or 1,000 half drawers that we could be using to put so many more parts in. We actually have a huge stack, like a couple hundred probably, drawers sitting on a cart right there that need to be filled up on the other half or consolidated together or whatever. So that was going to be the plan for this week, and then we decided we're going to shift our focus to the house. This upcoming week now I think will be to get the store back in order and hopefully get adding things
Until something comes up. But yes.
Until something comes up, in which case we'll shift focus. But that's the goal for now.
There's a lot that happened in chat here.
Yes, there is.
Sunita says, what about orange Fanta?
I do not like orange Fanta either. It's overly fake.
Orange. Yeah, I don't like fake orange flavor.
Yeah, I like orange candy.
I do not.
Yeah, I like orange candy. But Fanta, I don't know. I don't know. It's not for me.
Yeah.
Yelmer says, if I want to generate sales now, I have to 30% discount on top of my parts on the last 6 months sales average. How does it work for you guys at the moment? Currently, our sales are horrible.
Yeah.
Like, utterly terrible. We thought the past couple months had been rough. Haha.
Yeah.
This one is at least
we're a little worried.
25%. Maybe not 25%. It'll probably be about 20% lower than last month. Maybe 25%. 20 to 25% worse in terms of gross sales than last month. So that's definitely disappointing for sure. But yeah, that's how our sales are going. So we don't have anything on sale right now.
But if everybody else's sales are also bad, then that makes us feel a little bit better. So
yeah. Okay. Someone asked what kind of wings we have. Over here I have French fries. They're pretty good actually. They're normal, but they're like double fried, which makes them extra crispy.
You may sample an onion ring, by the way.
Okay, I will take that tiny onion ring. Paul's side, he got onion rings. Okay, so this is like a beer battered onion ring. It's not a not a dry thing. It's like a specific thing. All right, we will take care of Harvey. Sorry, guys. How do I
hide user? Yeah.
All right. Harvey should be gone now.
And then put user in timeout.
Well, I think I just banned him.
No, I think that only. Yeah. Okay.
Harvey.
Yeah, there we go.
I don't know. If you guys see anything, let us know, because we might not be able to. No, everyone should not see it.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a beer battered onion ring as opposed to like a dry breaded onion ring, which would be my preference. I prefer the dry breaded ones. They're crispier generally, and there's more onion to. Maybe I do have to put a user in a timeout.
Yeah.
You're really trying, Harvey. Good for you.
It's probably a bot.
300 seconds. It's only 5 minutes.
What?
It says just a brick in the bucket timeout for 300 seconds. Anyway.
I forget where the button is because I've had to do it
Right,
before.
I thought we've had to remove people, like, completely.
Click remove.
Unless it's a...
Click remove.
Just removed the...
Individual message.
Yeah.
1 sec. Wait a minute. That wasn't 300 seconds.
No, it's different accounts. This is exciting.
Yeah. This is the most exciting thing. Thank you, Harvey, for if you're not a bot, if you're not a bot and you're actually watching, yes, thank you for providing some entertainment.
Yeah, you're doing a great job.
I'm sure this is the most exciting thing that's happened in our viewers' life for, well, maybe not in our viewers' lives, but happened on this stream while they've been watching.
Anyway, I got fries. Paul got onion rings. He got.
Thank you. It's not a bot. Thank you.
Are you sure?
You know, I gotta say I.
Harvey
I
fries.
just touched my mic.
Thank you for adding a little bit of joy
you
to
give
our
me
life.
some hope that not everyone is a bot.
I guess
but
to
we
answer
do
your
not.
question, no.
We do not. Unfortunately, I don't know. Maybe that'd be some way to get some extra income for the store.
What kind of wings did you get? Because
okay.
I don't remember.
Yes, I got. What did I get? Kung Pao wings.
Okay. Paul's are, of course, are bone-in.
Yes.
Mine are boneless, which is they're a different kind of boneless. Wow, this is a mess now.
Yeah. Now, we've had our joke, but we do try and keep it family friendly, which I realize is probably not entertaining to you. But yeah. But I gotta say, I am quite impressed with the amount of identical accounts you have. Although I
how do you
suppose
switch to them so quick?
well, you just click the little button at the top, and then
Oh.
you just have them all logged in. I don't think there's a cap on how many accounts you can have logged in on the app, so you just toggle between them. I just want to know why our channel.
Oh yeah, there's way more viewers out there for other
Do you
things.
guys just
Anyway, oh my god.
Hey, we've got 11 viewers though. 13 viewers.
This is very frustrating.
Although I wonder how many of those viewers are Harvey.
Is that how you make a thing? You put a colon and then type the emoji and then type another colon? Harvey, you taught me something. We have blocked every Harvey
Account. There's
account
multiple.
that has come up yet so far. That's what we're working on. This is the entertainment for the evening. David, welcome to the stream. Ollie, you got it correct. Yeah, David, we are currently sampling wings. We were trying to get through saying what we ordered. I got fries as my side. Paul got onion rings. Yeah, Cynthia, exactly. He's just entertaining the 13 of us, or 15 of us now. Or
Well, we don't know
whatever it is,
how
which
many of those
is
13
cool.
are him, so.
That is true. Maybe 12 of them are him, and it's only a few people. Paul got Kung Pao wings, which are interesting. I got Cajun lime. Haven't tried them yet. Haven't had the time. All right, bye, Harvey. Have a good one.
Goodbye, Harvey.
And this, I don't know which one this is. I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember. It is
No, I bet he's using an app.
something chili, maybe chili lime. Let me. I was gonna check the order. That's what I was gonna do on my phone. I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember.
I gotta say though, Harvey, if you're still watching, could have picked a better profile picture.
You think so?
Yeah, it's just some dude.
I think the truth is we're giving Harvey too much
Attention.
I
Yeah.
don't think it's the intention he wanted, though. 'Cause
No.
I don't think we're as angry and annoyed as he.
Well, the truth is, there's only 15 people watching, so like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Had
It'll
you
be
shown
kind of
up?
hard to actually, I think, make
Grief
us
us,
truly,
yeah.
truly angry. But good shot. Good shot. My ranch is almost, or was only half full. was quite
Mine, no, mine's a little bit more than.
Yeah.
Why am I eating? Why am I drinking this?
I don't know. David, we finished the house almost, pretty much, which is exciting. That's like the topic of this stream. I think that's why we haven't done anything in the past week, for the most part, in terms of the store besides pack orders. Like, actually, did you catalog anything?
Nope.
I didn't clock in this week, like legitimately. That's a good account.
That's a good one.
Yeah, no, legitimately, I did not actually even clock into the store from Monday to now, which is horrible. But yeah, the house is done, which is pretty exciting. I really do like that. That's good. Yeah. I actually love Gordon Ramsay. We'll bring up a new topic. Why not?
Yeah.
I love him. Like he's such a funny guy. Something I don't like is his new, not new, I guess. He does. I don't know if it's TikTok or what it is. I watch it on YouTube as like the short things or whatever. Very lucky, David. 15 new Acro units on the porch. That is something we do not have. Did you pay full price for those? Like the 41 whatever. Going to Brick World, Michigan tomorrow to see Doug, Derek, and Ralph. That's pretty exciting. That's pretty cool.
Sorry, I'm making sure that it's not anybody that I know.
Who?
The spammer.
Gordon Spamsy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool, David. You think you know who it is?
I may know who it is. I have only shared the channel with very few people that I know, and only one of them would have the personality to actually do this.
Gizmo, welcome to the stream, says, first time catching your stream live, usually watch it later in the day. I feel like I've seen you before, but maybe just in the comments section, maybe not actually here, but welcome to the stream. This is an interesting stream so far. It's really relaxed, and we've had a few different spammers, probably just one guy or two, but very interesting. Okay, so David said he paid about the $33 with 20% off. So you paid essentially retail before they upped it to whatever. Not ideal, but almost out of room, so I had to. Yeah, we are very close to that as well. We might just do the 20. We still have a 20% off. I don't know when it expires, actually. Maybe it did expire. There's almost always a 15% off for some reason, though. But I am worried that the day we buy them, the next day, like, they're all gonna, the price is gonna go down. Like, I just feel like that's what's gonna happen. Maybe now that you bought them, the price will go down, and then we can buy them at the cheaper price. But
I'm starting to think that maybe this is the new.
It might just be the actual new. Yeah, this is something we talked about in the patron call last week. Was usually it fluctuates, but this time it hasn't fluctuated at all. Amazon, the 64 went up to 44. Okay, wow, yeah. So
I mean, unless there's a supply chain issue.
Very crunchy.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good flavor. Interesting.
I still don't think that these match up to Wingstop, though.
I kind of like these.
They're too dry.
They're a little dry inside, but I like the outside. Because it's not as like full of oil and grease like Wingstop. Wingstop, at least they're boneless. That's generally what I get. I don't know. It's almost too breaded for me sometimes, and it starts to get like annoying. But this is a good change of pace. I like this one. David said I have a negative 50% off sales since yesterday and still been getting orders. You're doing really well.
We have conversations all the time where we're like,
what is David doing?
Yeah, that we're not.
Yeah.
Because we have a 2.5 per day sale average right now, which is awful for our size. And it keeps going down. We thankfully our order average is up, but
we're going our order average up and sales per day up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're trying to figure out. I think it's probably we're just not adding enough parts. But then part of me is like, that should only matter in terms of growing, right? If we're staying at the same size, then we should have an average.
Wow.
Right.
65 to 70,000 parts in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah,
or but just over 2 weeks. That's pretty
amazing.
know.
I want to know why adding parts has an effect other than just increasing the store, like the size of your store, right? Like, I mean, obviously, adding more parts increases the variety, which increases the amount of people that would come to your store to want a part, right? But if you stay at a certain size, then the amount of orders you're getting per day should be consistent. And it's not. We're continuing to drop. And so I want to know why that is. But, I mean, I think definitely part of it is that we're just not adding as much as we should. I've seen on Pops that you can notify. Yeah, that is true. You can notify people.
Yeah, so something we looked at. Or do you want to say what we tested?
The wanted listing. We did it on a Patreon call, right?
Yeah. So we tested what exactly that means when you say you want something. So essentially, anytime someone uploads a piece, and on this Patreon call, we had only, I don't know, probably 20 to 30 minutes before the end of the call, we had set up a quick wanted list with like a set and turned on notifications for all the pieces. And within that Patreon call, I mean, every few minutes we would get a notification. We get a notification that essentially was like, oh, here's stuff on your wanted list. And so no one has regular parts on their wanted list. They're almost exclusively going to have unless they're specifically trying to buy something, but then they're probably not going to turn the notifications on. If they want like a set inventory, I don't think they're going to turn the notifications on because they don't want to know when someone has one of those pieces. They might have the wanted list and go, find all the pieces in a store, but they're not going to have it all notified. But if you have special pieces, like maybe, I don't know, a real gold 2x4 brick. I don't think that's even a thing, but like, I'm just trying to think of a random thing. Or maybe a minifig. That's a good example. Then you might be notified for that. So even though we send the notifications out when we have a few hundred lots, it's sending it to everyone or everyone that has that notify on. And some people are like, oh yeah, cool, it's on. Or cool, you have this piece. But the majority of them are probably just ignoring that email because they're getting multiple every few minutes. Or not every few minutes. Multiple an hour, though. At least we were when we had regular pieces on that list. So at that point, they, in their mind, will probably have said, okay, never mind. I'm going to take this off my wanted list or not notify or whatever. So the wanted list is cool. And when you get that email back that says we've notified 1,000 users, it's like, cool, 1,000 people got an email. But probably 900 of that 1,000 ignored the email. Unless you did add pieces that are relatively unique that people actually are searching for.
Yeah.
You know who that is?
No.
Fun facts.
It's
Welcome
the same
to
guy,
the stream.
but yes.
Same guy? You sure?
I'm pretty sure it's the same guy.
Okay.
But I don't know who they are. I thought it might have been one
okay.
person, but it's not. But do you remember fun facts about animals? Or fun facts about the... It was a prank that we did with Kyle and Noah way back in high school.
Oh.
We were all in my living room, and we called Garrett. His phone.
Who's Garrett?
You don't remember Garrett from high school? He wasn't really a friend of ours. He was just some guy, but we happened to have his phone number. And we called him and left him random facts about the animal that we're reading off of these cups that my dad had that had fun facts about animals. You have to remember this. You made the call.
I'm sure I did. I don't remember making that call.
It's Harvey Price. Is Harvey Price a person that I'm supposed to know?
I don't know. I don't know.
Is Harvey Price a celebrity? Well, obviously you're a celebrity on our channel, but...
You are providing a service now. Facts are fun. I agree. It says Google me.
Harvey Price is a person, but it doesn't tell me what they do. Katie Price's son. Good to know. Good
Cool.
to know.
Yeah, David says no one buys bricks because of notification. That's what I was trying to say with that long, over-winded thing. And yeah, if you stay the same size, the reason sales drop is the good parts get sold out quickly. I agree with that. I think we need to add parts consistently, and even if you're staying the same size, as long as you're adding pieces, not to grow in size, but to replenish the pieces that you have sold, that's what gets people in, and then they're like, oh, I might as well buy some bricks or some regular plates or whatever. I think that's kind of how BrickLink works for the most part. We've pretty much determined it's got to be impossible for someone to come to your store because you happen to have a 2x6 plate in green. Because the likelihood of them clicking searching for a 2x6 whatever, search for a 2x6 plate in green, and then scroll through that list. What spot were we in?
Quite far.
Like
we were
hundreds down when we searched. I don't remember what piece. It was a basic piece. It wasn't like a plate, but it was like a plate with a clip, like a 1x1 or something. But still a very basic piece. But we were hundreds of results down. So people are not finding your store when they search a piece, unless you are the only person who has that piece or something. So it's got to be mostly wanted lists, or you have that specific minifig they want or whatever, and your shipping terms and all that kind of stuff are good. So we found that out over the past few weeks, or determined that that's got to be the case. So it's important, I think, to add pieces consistently and rotate what you're adding, so you don't always just add bricks, because like that's never going to sell. Yeah, David says each lot is a hook. The more hooks in the sea, the more fish you catch. Exactly. Yeah, each lot.
Yeah.
Maybe excluding the super duper normal pieces, because it's very hard for someone to come to your store for that. Yeah, I think that's a good thing. Cynthia says, I have been parting out more regularly, and newer sets and lots may have gone up. My average sale this month has gone up. I sell a lot of figs and now Advent stuff. Okay. Gotcha. So parting out has helped. That's something we also just talked about. New versus used and quantity of each. We're pretty confident that quantity is not always, sometimes it's going to be, but not usually why people come to your store. People probably come to your store because you have good prices, like stupid good prices, or you have a specific part they want, or you just have a large variety of lots and it shows up in the wanted list auto buy feature or whatever it's called. Quick buy, auto buy, something like that. Magic buy? What is it called? I don't even know.
What?
Auto buy, the feature, the wanted list thing. Auto buy?
I have no idea.
I don't remember. Where was I going with this? What did I just read? Oh, the new sets that we were adding up until March or so, we still were doing larger quantity. I would say February, March, maybe April, we had kind of decided we're no longer going to buy 8 of a set. We're going to jump it down to 4, and then over the few months after that, it kind of lowered to 3, and then now it's kind of even at 2. And so I think maybe part of that is, or part of our sales going down is, even when we add new pieces, we're only adding 2 sets. So the quantity might only be 2 of a single piece. And while that may not be quantity, you know, people say, oh, I don't care about the quantity, but if they wanted 3, you know, I think most people aren't going to be like, oh, that's a high quantity. But we only added 2 because we only parted out 2 sets. So I think that could potentially be something that we are doing incorrect as well. When we are doing new, the quantity that we're parting out is not high enough, especially comparing to how we used to do it.
Goodbye, David.
Bye, David. Thanks for tuning in. David says, also, my real lot count when the store is downloaded, Brick Store and Consolidated, is 14,750. That is very good. Congratulations. That's
much higher
very,
than
very good. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, Cynthia says 3 to 5 of a set. I think the 4 was a better number, but I think 8, if we can, as long as it financially makes sense to do 8.
Yeah, that's backup, basically.
Yeah, we just made such a drastic switch from quantity of pieces to lot count. Like, I think probably too drastic of a switch there, which is the reason I think now that part of our sales are lower, but I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
So, the kind of a cool thing though with used is we are getting quantity with used, because now instead of Paul just doing a bag of a category, he's doing 20 pounds of that same category. So there's always a few of each piece for the most part. It's not it's not like it was where it was always
except for
one of these. A few of them are horrible. They're just like 50 lots, 60 pieces. But other ones have been like 50 lots and 700 pieces, and that's much better. Soulflame, welcome to the stream. You're late again, but that's okay. I think you're the one. That's the one that's late all the time, Soulflame?
I don't remember.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, Dunder Mifflin says, I just got my 5th order for the day. Really, really good.
I wish we had gotten our 5th order.
We have not gotten our 5th order. Excuse me, today. For that matter, I think we only had 1 order today. 2. It looks like 2 orders today.
And 1 pending. They need a
1 that needs to be invoiced, yeah. So 2 orders today. Not terrible. Not good, though, either. Like we said, our
order
count
average is down.
Our orders per day is down.
Sorry,
order average
that's
is
what
up.
I meant to say.
Yeah, Soulflame late, always late. Okay. No worries, though. That's okay.
Do we
you missed a lot of the fun, though.
Yes. Do we want to talk about what changes we made to increase the order average?
Yeah, I mean, it's public information.
Yeah, I guess so. We decided to institute free shipping on orders over 35, and that has brought our order average up to like $33.
Mm-hmm.
So that definitely is getting people. And yes, Soul Flame, the building is done. It barely started though before the food arrived, and it was not Hedwig. Sorry, you were led on. We could not find it.
Yeah, Paul
it was
lied.
actually a Minecraft set.
Excuse me. How many pieces do you think you added?
to that? I don't know, like 10.
Nice. Yeah, so $32.77 is our average sale, which is pretty good. I think last year we averaged around 30, 29 or 28 something. But before, I'm dying here and trying to speak with you. Before this, we were averaging 22.
Stop talking.
You can talk.
We were averaging 22. I don't know what the rest of what he was going to say was, but you know, it's definitely fantastic that it has gone up from 22 to 32. And I definitely think free shipping had a lot to do with that. But we definitely need to get a new box size. Part of the problem is a lot of these orders require flat rate boxes.
Sorry.
Require flat rate boxes, and so we
Sorry, everyone.
Require flat rate. Sorry, where am I going? Require flat rate boxes, and therefore cost $13 to ship at a minimum.
Yeah.
And so we need to get a slightly bigger box size because they only barely don't fit in our normal box. Yeah. So that hopefully will make the free shipping a lot more cost effective.
So we have 5 boxes. We have a small 4x4x4 box, and we have a 6x6x4, and then we have a 6x8x4. And
where do we have those?
They're right down there. Those other ones.
Oh, I
bet you
I could have fit. No, I thought those were more the 6x6x4s.
No, those are bigger.
Huh. Well, I didn't even know that we had any of those.
Really?
No. I always thought it was just overflow.
All right. Well, you learn something new every day. Anyway, I'm so sorry, everyone. Then we have medium flat rate, and then we have over there large flat rate. So when someone hits that $35 order minimum, yeah, and we spend $14 on shipping, probably not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know you didn't know we had those.
No.
They're like right there.
I always thought that those were overflow.
Nope. Overflow is just on the shelf over there, I guess. So Dunder Mifflin says, to add on to the previous message, let me go find your previous message. One method you guys may consider is looking at new. I'm dying.
What is wrong?
You don't
use a mask. Well, you.
No. This is the spicy stuff that went down the wrong way, and it burns. I'm choking, and well, I'm not gonna drink milk down my windpipe. Anyway, Thunder from Darko says one method you guys may consider is looking at new as your quantity source and used as your lot source. So part out the quantity you used to part out of new sets and keep pumping out the used parts.
You know what? Go to Top Chat.
But everyone else is seeing it.
True.
So.
Do you want to maybe give
have?
someone a temporary mod to just deal with it?
I don't want to have to put that responsibility on someone, but does anyone want to be modded, that like moderator?
Probably just for the stream.
Can trust, which we'll know if we can trust you or not. Okay, and then it says add on to previous sense. Sorting a given set takes X amount of time. Doing 10 sets over 2 will take, yeah, exactly. You're 100% right on that. It's going to take 40% longer as opposed to 500%. Yes, those are obviously numbers that are random, but yes, that is why actually initially we did.
Could always mod him.
That's why we started with 8 or more, because it was always more efficient to part out a ton than it was to just do a couple. So maybe that's something we'll do. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve W.
Hello.
Back the tank?
Yeah, he's been here before.
I've never read the name all the way. I think I just say, hey, Steve. I don't think I've ever read your name out loud like that. But welcome to the stream. Cynthia says, true, that's why I try to get a number of sets that it makes me feel like I'm not wasting my time. Also depends on the minifigs. That's true as well. Yeah. I'll make it.
Stop eating them.
I haven't eaten. I don't think I've taken another bite since. I probably have, but I haven't in the past minute or so. Soulflame says, I went to the Pick-a-Brick wall for the first time, and wow, the returns on that are great.
Yeah, it really depends on what pieces.
Yeah, that's something maybe we should do, is go to the Pick-a-Brick wall just to see if there's stuff there that would be worth bulking up the quantity of.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Cynthia says, I would, but I don't know how to.
In terms
of what?
True, that's... Excuse me.
I don't know what your question is. I'm sorry. Would, but I don't know how to. Don't know how to what? Sorry. From Creation says, I'm finding a lot of my previous orders have been a lot of used, which is awesome. James Lewis from the UK, welcome to the stream. How are you? We have been dealing with this man all day.
Yeah.
Legitimately. Not even kidding. It's pretty fun. Assist Official.
Welcome, Assist Official.
Yes, you are really, really late, but that is okay. We are, I think, how long have we been going? Not quite an hour. I'm so sorry, everyone. Oh, Cynthia says she'd be a mod. We could do that.
All you should need to do is...
Of course, you're at Six Flags opening night for Fright Fest. That's exciting. Congratulations. I guess not congratulations. This is why we don't leave the garage door open.
That is a very good argument,
yeah.
but
Nikolai says, I'm always doing even numbers of sets depending on the size. The smaller the set, the bigger the quantity. Currently I have 2 of 71741 sitting. Nice. Wait, what is it? The smaller the set, the bigger the quantity. That is usually what we would do as well. Although we kind of would hit
I gave you a nasty look when you did that.
What was it?
It wasn't doing anything.
No, he continued typing. Like
a couple times. I don't know.
I don't know. Why does my notification not pop up says Assist Official? Do you have the bell clicked?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Some people do. YouTube, I think, is just messed up.
I think really YouTube just decides whether or not it likes your channel, and therefore decides whether or not you get a notification.
Yeah, today didn't like our channel. Neither does Harvey Price, but that's okay. Do you think it's best to get started with bulk used or new parts for a new BrickLink store, says Mr. Dishboy09.
If you have the funding, I would say new.
New?
If you have the funds, I'd say new. If you only have a couple dollars to spend, then I would say used, because you're going to get way higher volume out of the used. But I think the new early on is probably going to give you more. It's going to be easier. Certainly a lot easier.
That's true. With new, which I think is a benefit, is you actually learn a ton from new, whereas with used, you have to learn in order to understand it. And you could learn that way too, but I think you'll make more mistakes doing used. With new, it's kind of laid out for you. You can't, it's harder to mess it up. Yeah. Soulflame says, I agree, it depends on what parts you buy. And this is in reference to his 3 Pick-a-Brick cups. If it were mostly small parts like 1x1 pieces, you won't get the value if you stuff them with like 4x5 plates. That's true as well. I've never, even if it was like my own, which there hasn't been. I don't think I've ever personally got a Pick-a-Brick cup for myself actually.
No.
But if I were to do that, I probably wouldn't just buy or just get like plates or something. But obviously people do. James says, I'm good. Just spent the last 3 days, 2-hour sessions, rebuilding Lego Central Perk after it fell apart when I was trying to correct a mistake.
Ouch.
Wow. Sounds like a big mistake if if it fell. Well, I guess it fell apart and then. So you spent 4 hours trying to fix it? That's pretty crazy. You know what I have learned with this Harvey guy is how to quickly click the 3 dots and then quickly click hide user from this channel.
Sometimes it takes a while.
It does take a little while. I wonder if it takes as much time as it takes from our stream to go out for it to like register that that's a thing because it's in the chat, which is delayed.
Yeah.
Or whatever to our thing. I'm not entirely sure. Dungeon Myth and Brickco says, how much was the Pick-a-Brick cups? I haven't been to a Lego store in a while. Yeah, I think they were $16.25 or something last time I think that sounds about right. $16.25 or somewhere in there. We have not got a Pick-a-Brick cup in probably a year and a half, almost a year, definitely over a year. So I'm not sure if the price changed, but I feel like I would have seen news on that or someone would have said something. Not entirely sure though. Burnbrick Creation says, I've bought a few Pick-a-Brick cups before and had a few parts do quite well in sales. That was something, I got 2x2 tiles, dark red 2x2 tiles. Forever they didn't sell. And then they removed them from the Pick-a-Brick wall. and it was like a year later probably. Yeah. They started to sell. So I don't think Pick-a-Brick is bad. It just takes time for people to actually want those parts when they realize they're not on the Pick-a-Brick wall. And it's not like the pieces never sell. It's just, it takes, people aren't going to go buy 1,000 of them when they can go to the Pick-a-Brick store or the Lego store. If they only want 4 and they're already placing an order, they'll sell that way. They're just not going to sell if you have 10,000 of them. Speaking of a lot, we still have solar panels. If anyone needs solar panels,
please
Ben, welcome
buy our solar panels.
Please buy our solar panels.
Is that
Brick says, man, I had a rude awakening last night. After 2 months, I had a couple of Lego pre-authorizations come through that I thought had already been paid. That's
a
horrible.
Long time.
Yeah, that's 2 months. Wow. Do I have any of that? Do I place an order and wait for something? I hope not. I don't think so.
I've certainly been hit with the 2 weeks later restaurant bill, but
what?
That never happens to you? Oh,
No.
I'll get something at a place to eat, and then they won't actually end up because when you swipe your card, that's not actually when it processes. It just saves that data,
right.
And then at the end of the shift, usually, or sometimes at the end of the week,
because they have to do the tip and all that stuff.
Yeah, but there have been many times where restaurants have taken over a week to process it, and then in one night I'll get slapped with because it'll be a restaurant that I go to regularly or something like that.
Oh, and they just did it all for the past 2 weeks.
And they just did it all, and I and then it'll be here's $150.
Interesting. I don't really pay attention, I guess, to when it processes that.
Yeah.
Ben says only here for a second as I have to go to sleep. You really haven't missed much today. I choked on a piece of chicken. We finished remodeling the house almost. We're 98% there. We had Harvey Price make an appearance.
Yeah.
Many times.
I tried Googling it. Still don't know who he is. All I know is he's Katie Price's son.
Some random scammer. Other than that, not a very eventful day. Paul added 11 pieces. We've concluded, I think, 10 or 11 pieces to his Minecraft set. So, yeah. Very uneventful.
Yeah.
Cynthia says, in the U.S., it was $15.99 for the large Pick-a-Brick cups. Yeah.
I've noticed a lot of people seem to be arriving a little bit late today.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if...
Today just wasn't a good day for a stream, I don't think.
Yeah.
Which is okay.
I don't think we're going to be going super long today anyway.
No, I think we're...
What time did we start? 3?
3.
So we've been going for an hour.
So we've been going for almost an hour, yeah.
JB...
Says, oh, okay, you pre-ordered. Gotcha. The Bad Batch shuttle is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, JB, I understand. The,
I
see, okay. JB's brick count, okay, what was I trying to say? Okay, yes, overdraft sucks. I know very well from, he's saying he owes the bank.
No. He says I owe, I think he just means he owes money to his bank account because probably his wife didn't want him spending their money on Lego.
Yes, okay,
I'm assuming that was your
thing. Yes.
Yeah.
I have had numerous issues. Remember that one time when I got angry enough that I actually drove to the Wells Fargo?
No.
You don't remember that? I was walking out of my car. I was super angry. And you're like, Paul, where are you going? Like, to the bank.
Oh, I don't remember that. I don't remember anything, though. So.
I overdrafted on something, and they charged me an overdraft on the overdraft.
Or a different time?
No. This was when they charged me an overdraft on the overdraft, 5 seconds later, and then they charged me an overdraft on that overdraft. So it ended up being $200 in overdraft fees. And so I went to the bank to go and get it changed.
They only charge the overdraft fees at the end of the night, after the 24-hour period.
That's why had to call them so many times, and then they're always like, no, it's not our policy to reverse. And I'm like, but it says this, and then they end up reversing it because they're not allowed to do that. They've been sued
Yeah, Wells Fargo has been
multiple
sued a few
times over their overdraft fees. So
I think I had an overdraft once, like a while ago.
well, also they
other than that, I don't know.
something else is they have also I have overdraft protection on that account, but I guess you have to tap a button. They send you an alert, a text message, and you have to reply with yes in order for overdraft thing to take effect, and it has to be within like 5 minutes. And if you don't, then they charge you an overdraft fee.
Something I noticed when we were signing up for a bank for our business, we have a bank with Chase, or we bank with Chase for the business, but I'd never actually read any of the terms, ever, of course. Who reads that massive booklet they give you?
I did.
You did. But when we were sitting with the lady to get this thing, I remember her going over the basic things. And one of them was overdraft protection, and you might as well, we have multiple accounts with Chase and stuff, but you might as well have it linked between the accounts, and because it'll protect you, if you spend way too much in this, which I don't, the goal would not be to do that, obviously, but like, the weirdest thing to me is they charge you for overdrafting if you don't have overdraft protection. It's like $35 or so. I think it's set federally to do that, I believe. And then their thing though was, we'll have overdraft protection for you, but we still charge you like $5 per thing. Which, yeah, I guess is cheaper, but also like,
it's your money, yeah.
It's still so weird. Well, it makes sense.
The $35, it doesn't transfer it from an account. The bank covers it. Your account goes negative, and you owe the bank money because the bank covers the charge. If you have overdraft protection, it takes it from another account, in theory.
Yeah, yeah. Right, it just makes a transfer. That's what I'm saying. Because I can go to the app or online or whatever and make a transfer for free from a savings to a checking or whatever it is. But when they do it automatically, they're going to charge you for it, which is interesting because it's not a person at a computer being like, "Oh, overdraft, got to move money." It's just a thing that this is a computer that does it. But so to me, that was weird that she said that because in my mind, and I don't even know if I have overdraft protection on my regular accounts. But to me, it never, like, when you think or you hear overdraft protection, it kind of just sounds like it's just going to move money over and it's fine. And it does, but it charges you for it. It's very weird to me. I don't know. I've overdrafted a very long time ago when I was younger. I think probably still in high school.
You can be me and receive an overdraft and your account still has a positive balance.
Yeah, no, I don't get that one. I don't know. I've never. We have overdraft protection in case, because you have a history of overdrafting with a different bank, but we have overdraft protection in case Paul. We'll say that's the reason. I don't know. I don't know why you wouldn't sign up for it, I guess, too. Like, why you would just say no. But I don't know. Brick Rehab says, howdy guys, y'all been quiet this week. It's been, we've been very busy actually. So, been really quiet in the store. Literally, I have not been in the store, legitimately. Haven't clocked in 7 days. So, Paul and I have been, as many people know, remodeling the house that we're living in. And for the past 6-ish months or so, we actually haven't remodeled anything. But there was one room in the back that still needed to be completely done. It needed flooring, it needed ceiling, it needed the walls painted. It needed to be like everything needed to be done in that room.
Do you think
everything
that it's?
How does this one work?
My guess is that I don't think you can send anymore. My guess is just for some reason they just didn't hide it.
Right, we'll leave the rainbow with the.
Yeah.
Also, I'm pretty sure OnlyFans doesn't do that anymore.
Not yet, but soon they won't.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, Ben,
Soulflame, it is not
right.
a bot.
No, we've had a conversation.
Yeah, we've had multiple conversations with him.
Yeah, so it's not a bot.
He might be using a bot, but there is a person watching it.
Yeah, which is what makes it fun for the person, I think.
Yeah.
So answering that question that's now long gone because Harvey Price,
could be a woman.
Whoever this Harvey Price is.
We should not assume it.
That's true.
It could be a woman.
Who was I talking to? Brick Rehab. Yeah, it's been quiet this week. We actually didn't have enough vlog content to do a vlog, and so that'll be coming out next week. And the house is done.
Yeah.
Minus minimal things that we're gonna go do after this stream, and the couch will be moving back in there tonight, or not back in there. It's never been in there.
Yeah,
when
it
we
will
lived
finally
here.
be
It'll
in
finally
there.
be moved to its final home. We have 2 couches in the front living room at the moment. Yeah. Just Brick says, I've been slow all month. You mean in terms of sales? Because our month is, like, really bad. Oh, we should call Kyle.
Oh, you know,
He wouldn't put that much effort in.
okay, yeah, that's a good
Like
point.
for that, it just
yeah,
it wouldn't.
he would have done it once or twice. And
Yeah,
then,
yeah. I also don't think Kyle,
see, there's your proof.
based on what was I gonna say? Oh, based on the fact that Ben said Harvey Price was someone's son who
Yeah,
was
well, and
disabled, and
Kyle- yeah, Kyle
wouldn't
wouldn't
do
make that joke.
So, no, it's not Kyle. Brick Rehab says, who am I supposed to part out with if you guys aren't around? Actually, we have a part out party coming out really soon, so you can part out to that.
We've had a part out party coming out soon.
Tuesday.
Tuesday, okay.
Tuesday.
Okay, I'm gonna hold you to that.
Okay, do it. Just Bricks, thanks for tuning in. We will see you later. Sorry for an interesting, weird stream. David, David also says this month has been slow. So Ben says same slow month. Sales have been awful. Goodbye. Ben says, been focusing on personal errands in the last couple of weeks since Lego stuff has been quiet. Brick Rehab says, added 21,000 this month. Really, really good. Technically, we've added a few we've added a lot.
Yeah.
But not what we were trying to. Fiber Creation says it's been slow as well. James says in the UK you can have overdraft limit. Oh, someone asked what overdraft was. Essentially, if you have 2
I'm an
bank
expert.
accounts, Paul can explain.
So when you have a debit card connected to a checking, or just using a checking, and you are routing transactions through it, if you hit 0, it goes into an overdraft, which essentially means the bank will make an arbitrary decision as to whether or not they're going to cover the expense or decline the card. And if they decide to cover the expense, let's say I try and buy something at a restaurant for $30, but there's only $20 in that account. Then the bank will decide, okay, we're going to cover that. And so my bank account will go into negative $10, and they'll charge me $35 for that. Now, the interesting thing is, let's say I have 3 checking accounts. One of them has $25 in it, and the other one has $3,000 in it. You can set up an overdraft protection, which will basically mean that the accounts are connected. So if I overspend on one, it will just pull the money from the other, which it shouldn't cause any problems. However, what we were talking about is Chase decides to charge you for that.
Yeah. So we have the overdraft protection.
Yeah.
But we haven't used it. But she explained it to us.
Yes.
And I think it's $5 or something per thing. So. Fembreak Creation says it's also been slow this month. The Lego military box. Sales have been down even though I've gotten to 3,000 parts. So James Lewis says in the UK you can have overdraft limit. If you stay within the limit, you just get charged interest like 75 pence or $1 per day. Some banks give you a buffer limit. Interesting.
Yeah, that's definitely not the case here.
Yeah. Well,
at least for me with Wells Fargo. I have had
Paul has bad experiences.
so many negative experiences with Wells Fargo. Like I cannot even describe the amount of problems I've. At one point, they set I was trying to check out in a drive-through, and my card got declined, and I was like, "What is going on?" I know for an absolute fact that there is plenty of money on this card, so I pulled over, called the bank. The bank said that my debit card limit had been set to $10. Meaning I could only spend $10 on the debit card or it would be declined. And so I ended up having to call them to raise it, and they wouldn't raise it because apparently it had been somehow listed as a child account. So I ended up having to go to the bank and prove that I was an adult.
You know what would be really funny? Going through a drive-through, ordering $11 worth of food,
Yeah.
and asking them to split the charge on 2 cards.
Yeah, I was, and I was like asking, okay, when did this happen? And she couldn't give me a straight answer because I'd used my card like the other day and it was totally fine. And the lady on the phone would not give me a straight answer as to who had made that change or why they had made that change. And I'd like to point out that I was an adult at that time, and it was not on my parents' card. It was on my card.
When I was in high school and I was not an adult, I had a $500 limit per day spending on the card, which I didn't really know until I went and tried to make a transaction and it wouldn't go through, and then I called the bank and all this stuff. And then they could not up that limit. Like, they just said no. I do remember this. This is the only problem. I don't know if this is a real problem.
Well, that's probably because you were a minor.
It was still, yeah, a teen checking account. But I was trying to buy a camera, I think, or something, and it was like $3,000. And, you know, I had the money in there. I could do it and stuff. And it was like they just said no. So instead I had to go, what did I do? I probably used my parents' card or something and then paid them back for it. But it's like, to me, it's really weird. And if you're a minor, I guess it makes sense. But to this day, I'm pretty sure, and I know it's for our protection, but I still have some sort of limit on my debit card.
Yeah. Well,
I almost exclusively pay with credit cards, and then I just pay off the cards. I very rarely use my debit card anymore, but I'm curious what that limit is now, because running gear even. Kyle and I were trying to make like a $10,000 purchase at one point, and our business card had a $3,000 limit on it. So we had to do like 3 different transactions, and we had to split it between cards. It was like, and do it over multiple days. It was the stupidest thing ever. And that is also with Wells Fargo.
Ben, I still have that problem. Technically, I have a savings account, which is held by my parents, and we've never actually, I don't think there's any money in there anymore now, or like barely any, because I've just had them transfer it to me. But for the longest time, even after turning 18, there was this savings account that I wanted access to, and the bank would not give it to me, despite it being in my name. And we all had to get together in order to do it, and we just never did that. But yeah,
so is there still money in that account?
There's probably less than $100, because I've just had them transfer it to me normally.
Oh, you can do that? You just can't?
Yeah, they can pull it out.
Oh, I see. Interesting.
Don't bother him. He's just gonna, yeah.
Soulflame has the best advice of the day.
Yeah, I think it's wise to not go to 0. Yes, I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree that is the the wise decision.
Or if you do it on a credit card where
he
it's
is blocked.
Planned.
I've
blocked
hundreds of accounts.
Yeah, every single account that pops up, every time the messages get deleted, I have clicked to block.
Are they not
that
deleted
user.
on your screen, guys?
No, they'll be deleted. It's the same thing. But
yeah,
it would be deleted, or we've removed that user from the account. They can't type anymore. So that's why the names change every once in a while too, and why it takes a little while before. Before, like in this case now, he's once again. There's also like a delay, but yeah, hide the user on this channel. Now that Harvey Price specific account cannot be used on this channel, in theory. But give it a few more seconds, and whoever Harvey is will click the little icon, switch accounts.
Actually, I think at this point they have a bot.
Or it's got to be some sort of bot or app or something.
They have a bot.
Yeah, Soulflame says I keep blocking him and he reappears. Yeah, so it's not.
I actually kind of want to know, Harvey, if you're paying attention, what tool are you using, if you don't mind? I'm kind of curious.
Soulflame, it's not a bot because, well, it's a bot to obviously continue doing this, but there's a person behind it because they interact with what we're doing. We'll see if Harvey answers the question what they're using to...
If you're just toggling accounts, I gotta say I'm quite impressed.
Yeah. Although...
Well, no, because he's also changing the name and changing the picture.
I feel bad for you, though. Because what do you... Like, you don't have time? Or this is all you have to do?
No, I mean, I don't... Like, you know, actually, I'm not going to encourage the behavior. Never mind. I'm not going to say what I was about to say. But what to me is baffling is that you're picking this channel. But I suppose we are reacting to you, and a big streamer would just have their 100-person moderator team just...
Change banks. I'm not, you know what? Sorry, Soulflame, but you have the second most important thing. Change banks.
Oh, I actually, yeah. This is just a hobby. Don't feel bad for me. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, but I didn't want to. What is IRC? IRC chat programs also have that functionality. Internet relay chat.
Thunder Memphis says I bank with a credit union, so they rarely have problems like you were describing. However, I do get nailed if I overcharge the account, which PayPal kindly did for me a few times. You had a PayPal thing too.
I did. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
It double charged you
Yes.
for the same transaction.
Yes.
Big transaction.
My pay. So I have PayPal credit. And I don't use it often. Yes, I do have a rewards credit card, etc. But PayPal credit, if I need to buy something expensive and I cannot afford it, which is not something you should normally do, but there have been some times where I need to get something, right, and I don't have cash on hand. PayPal credit has 6 months, no interest, and I can usually pay it back within like 2 months or something. But I had made this quite large purchase, and PayPal credit decided to bill me twice for it. The company did not. The company confirmed to me that they did not, but PayPal credit did. And so I ended up having to contact customer service, and it pushed me over my limit too, and so they were very cranky about that. And so I ended up having to request a refund and all this stuff. And then I ended up paying it off, but they did not count that I paid it off. So I ended up having to basically get my money back, and they wrote me a paper check.
Oh, yeah.
They were not able to simply cancel the transaction or refund me. They had to write me a paper check. So I had this obscene balance on my, obscene balance on my PayPal credit. And for like 3 weeks while I was waiting for this check to show up. And then I had to cash the check, and then I had to go in and put that money into PayPal credit to pay it off.
Yeah, that is weird to me. The fact that they couldn't reverse a transaction that was in their own system.
Yeah,
to me
especially
that was weird.
because it didn't come from another company. It was PayPal
Right,
itself.
Exactly.
That
Ben says to use rewards credit card. Yeah, I almost spend, like I said a minute ago, almost exclusively on credit cards, depending which one. I'm not always meticulous about how I actually do it, but based on which one has the best reward for a particular thing. So like a gas credit card or my Discover credit card. It's actually one of my favorite credit cards. It has 5% cash back on certain categories for each quarter of the year. So what quarter are we in? 3? Yeah. Right now I believe I get I get 5% on restaurants and something else. So I exclusively right now use my Discover card for restaurant purchases. But then during the and then I have the Amazon credit card. I have a decent amount of credit cards, but I use the Amazon one on Amazon or Whole Foods because you get your 5% back on that. I have the Apple card, so if I make any Apple purchase, I use it on that, and I get the 3% cash back from Apple. What a deal. What else do I have? I have a gas card. So yeah, I have a majority, and then it saves you money in theory.
I have a gas card, and then I also have my restaurant card, which gives me 5 times, because I spend a lot of money on eating out. It's actually like a problem, but I would say after living expenses, eating out is by far my biggest expense. I actually don't really buy a lot of, I don't really need a lot of stuff. I get most of my joy from eating out, which is not a good thing. But anyway, that's what I choose to do with my money. And
just don't read it. Just
sorry. It's I really struggle with not paying attention.
You also really struggle with paying attention.
Yes. See, I can't even pay attention to my words there. But anyway, so I use a card to get like 5 times points on eating out, and so I usually pay for everybody, and then they owe me. What other? I'm gonna be getting another card that I plan on, using for traveling.
Dunder Mifflin, I want to point out, the important thing about a credit card is if you don't pay off the balance in that period and you're charged interest, it doesn't matter what rewards you got. It was worthless. It wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
So if it only makes sense if I go buy something with 5% cash back from Amazon, and then I pay it off within that billing period.
Yeah.
And Soulflame, yes, I do walk around with a lot of cards. Are you the one who said that? But also, the majority of them are on my phone in the Apple Wallet, or whatever it's called, Wallet app. So most of them I just use Apple Pay for anyway. I do have a few cards in my wallet though. But yeah, if you don't pay them off, then you've made a big mistake. You shouldn't have used the credit card. That's how they can offer such high rewards though, is because the majority of people
don't.
I don't know if it's an American thing or a worldwide thing, probably an American thing. Most people keep balances on the credit card, and then 6 months down the road, you've spent $50 in interest on a, I don't know, $100 transaction that you spent 6 months paying off. So,
let's see. 22%.
I have been. So, I was saving up, still am saving up for a transaction. So I didn't get the iPhone 13. Even though I have the iPhone upgrade program.
Wow, you're dedicated.
I am. So I didn't get the iPhone 13 yet. I might. I have the iPhone upgrade program, which essentially means you sign a 2-year contract, but at the end of that first year, you can send your phone back to Apple. I don't know if this is US only too, but you send your phone back to Apple, whatever. You had the X to the 13 Pro Max. That's an upgrade. Yeah, for sure. But the difference is every year, it's the same monthly payment. It's like $49 or whatever. It's paying off the phone over 2 years. And when you send it back, it cancels out the loan. You're halfway through, you're done. Which essentially means I could just always expect to pay $50 a month for my phone. But what I realized this year, and it happens every year, is you can't split the tax payments off over the course of a year. So on the $1,000 phone, I owed $70 on tax or whatever, or $77.50 or something like that. So I decided I am not going to upgrade my phone, and I was going to save the $77.50 that I would have to spend right now to pay the tax and not get it. Now, Kyle did get his, and he sent me some of the macro shots they have a lens, a macro lens on it. Let me just show you this picture. It's actually really impressive. So that's his watch screen, like mine.
That's crazy.
It's really impressive. Yeah, Ben just said the macro is insane. That's the reason I would upgrade the phone. Other than that, it's very similar. This is the blue. I have a black case on, but I love this blue. This is a beautiful blue, in my opinion. They changed the blue for the 13, and it's like a lighter blue now, which I guess is fine. They always have the black and the normal stuff, but I'm not a huge fan of the blue. So at the moment, because I'm saving up for something else, I'm really trying to limit my spending. I have not upgraded my phone, but I could potentially see me upgrading in the next few weeks if I just decide to spend the $77.50 or whatever.
Yeah, I used to get these dirt cheap, either a hand-me-down or a knockoff Chinese. Goodbye, Harvey.
Continue with your thing.
Sorry.
Stop.
I one thing at a time. I can't even be reading chat at the same time I'm talking. I had gotten a very, very dirt cheap Chinese knockoff phones, but I eventually, after my previous one, do you remember what happened to it? I showed you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The screen dissolved.
Actually, I have a picture of it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I could pull it up. It's somewhere. But you told me to take a picture to prove to your dad that this happened.
Because my dad was like, oh, that doesn't happen. But my screen dissolved.
I don't know when it was. I'm not going to find it. But, yeah.
But, like right as I was looking at it, my screen dissolved. I hadn't done anything to it or anything. It just dissolved. But after that, I was like, okay, I'm sick and tired of this. I've had to replace phones like every 3 or 4 months because they just die.
They're also cheap.
They're like
$60.
Yeah, like
cheap.
I got $60 for a phone that was when it came out.
Not an iPhone, and
no,
some
like,
off-brand.
I mean, it was pretty good. Like I could do everything that I can do on my new phone, except it was just a bit slower. But they die very quickly because I don't think they're legitimate. But I decided to upgrade and get an actual on-brand name, so I have an S10 now. But I didn't buy it new. I bought it used. It was a pretty good deal. I don't remember how much I paid for it, but I think it was less than $400. And I also got some.
Oh, the headphones. Or
I also got
the beans
buds with them. I also got buds with them, and those are like 100 and something. So, all in all, it was a pretty good deal, and it's still here, several months later.
See, I had always blamed you for the phones not lasting, and considering this one has made it pretty close to a year, maybe a year.
It
clearly was not to blame the phone 100%, but it definitely was the phone quality that because you had never or very rarely had an on-brand.
Well, the last
model.
time I had an on-brand phone was an iPhone 5C.
5C, yeah, the colored ones.
In freshman year of high school.
That was a while ago, yeah.
But honestly, I'm very happy with it.
The 10 was 4 years ago now? Wow. So
crazy.
why was the 5C? They went 5, 6, 7, 8, and the 10 came out with the 8. So that was like 8 years ago that you had the phone. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Wow, that was a long time ago. But anyway.
Yeah, Be Kind All the Time says, love the features and stuff with the battery. Yeah, if you intend, and I will 100% acknowledge the consumerism thing with, and that I'm totally part of it. Not that makes it okay.
You have to have the latest, biggest, bestest.
I want to have the next thing when it comes out and comes out and comes out and comes out.
You know, the purchase, I'm already like, oh, what if I had gotten the new one? But, yeah, anyway.
Yeah. So, that's why with the phone, the upgrade program sounded so good, because it's like, if I was going to have a phone for 2 years and pay it off over the 2 years, it's, no interest. It's like a few cents that they have to tack on or whatever, but like literally a few cents to make it not half a cent that you're paying each month. But it's actually the price of the phone that you're paying. The difference is, since Apple offered it, for me, before that I had a 5S. I had a 5S and then I went to the 8.
You had that for
And I had that for a very long time. And I would say it was probably 4 years old maybe. Or roughly around there. And I went to the 8. And when I got the 8, I think that's the year I joined the iPhone upgrade program. When I got the 8, because I was like, oh, it's, I'm going to have to pay for it over the next 2 years, $50 or whatever it was per month anyway. I might as well do this, and I can upgrade the phone in a year. And since that, I feel like I've kind of always been like, okay, I don't need the new phone. And this year's kind of a test, I guess, Clearly to me, I don't need it, but that's because I want something else. But there's definitely that consumerism inside of me. Like, the AirPods, I had the AirPods for 2 years, and then the AirPods, or AirPod Pros or whatever they call them, came out. And I was like, okay, I want those. I waited a few months before I got those. I've actually only had those for a little over a year now. But those are great.
Is there a noticeable difference?
The Pros?
Between the AirPods and the Pros?
Oh, yeah. Well, there's the noise canceling and everything, yeah.
Oh, the
it's
normal
totally
ones
different.
Don't have
no,
noise
normal
canceling
ones just in your ear. They're only like $100, the normal ones.
Oh, huh.
Or something like that.
Then those are pretty behind.
The AirPod Pros are fantastic. They didn't come out a year ago.
I want to know what the sound difference between my buds and the AirPods.
The AirPod Pros are actually really good in terms of like when they're actually measured on a scale of all the things. Like apparently, I'm not any audiophile or whatever they're called, but apparently the AirPod Pros are actually really good. Like in the world of audio, which is cool. But where was I going? Oh. I'm not going to upgrade my AirPods if they come out with the Pro 2s or whatever until the AirPods start to not work or whatever. Yeah, Ben says, love the AirPod Pro. Big difference with the noise canceling. Noise cancellation is fantastic. When I first had them, though, I remember the first month or two, to me it was like so confusing to learn what it would feel like. Because it's a different feeling.
Well, it's like you know how many times I have to ask, what did you say when I have my buds in? Yeah, it's definitely a big difference. But what I've kind of learned recently is that you should, the buying on brand. I used to always be like, oh, I'll buy the cheap off-brand thing, but in the last year or so, I've kind of changed my mind. Like, I bought actually good headphones when my previous headphones died and stuff, because I've kind of realized that if you do it right, a lot of the on-brand stuff, you're actually going to be able to, they're going to stay good for a lot longer.
Right, in theory they last, you don't have to replace them as quickly,
And like something else is, especially now, like a jump between one version and the next version usually is not as big, so I think it's probably a lot easier to wait several years.
Yeah. Something Ben said was the regular AirPod battery was terrible, and that for sure, I noticed that after having them for a couple years, them aging. But to me, it was phenomenal when I first got them that I could cram 4 hours or 5 hours or whatever of battery in this tiny little thing.
Yours only last that long?
5 hours, yeah. with
Oh, mine lasts for like
the
a day,
AirPods.
like,
Yeah.
like a over
Really?
a day. Yeah. I charge mine
when you
once
put them in
every-
the case.
Oh, I charge my case like once a week.
Yeah, me too.
But my actual earbuds, I mean my actual buds, I put them in the morning, and I can wear them all the way until evening.
Without putting them in the case?
Correct.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
actually.
Now that's with noise cancellation off,
Okay.
but still,
Mhm.
that you know.
Interesting. Yeah, no, the AirPods, I don't actually know how long the regular ones would last, but they would last, I think, like about 4 to 5 hours, which no noise canceling or anything, but to me it was mind-boggling that there were these little things that you could put in your ears, and you had music for, it was so cool. This is something Kyle and I talk about all the time, is when you don't have something, you don't know how nice it is to have it, and then you get it, and you're like, how did I live without this? And for me, that was the AirPods wireless, you know? I never had wireless headphones before the AirPods came out. So there was nothing in my mind that was like, oh, I need wireless, this is so stupid. I just always used the wired ones that came with the phones. And then something else, Apple boxes. I'm sitting in a real chair today, by the way, for those of you who remember that. But Apple boxes are these wooden boxes that you use for film.
Oh, they're fantastic.
Kyle and I never had them through high school. And senior year of high school, I, with my dad, made some Apple boxes because we saw them one time in this one set or whatever, and we're like, those are pretty cool.
Wait, Hayes doesn't have any?
He does now.
Okay.
He didn't have them when I was in high school, though.
That's
So we were
shocking.
like, we don't need it. Whatever. And then we made them, and then we had them, and now it's like, if we go and do anything without an Apple box,
It's horrible.
it's like we're missing something.
Even not being in film myself,
Mhm.
like
right?
if I move somewhere without you, I feel like I'm gonna need to get some Apple boxes.
Yeah, they're just the
It's
best
just
little
like-
seats and or table, or you need to prop up
Anything.
anything in the world. Apple boxes
And
will
they're
fix
just
it.
a wooden box, but
It's a piece
we
of wood.
need to be wrapping up soon, or we're not gonna have daylight.
You're right. Yeah, but let's read some of the chat here and
Yeah.
get the AirPod Pros are great. I agree. AirPod Pros are amazing. Soulflame says Sennheiser's good too. I agree with that. For me, I probably wouldn't buy something that doesn't fit in the Apple ecosystem, just because everything's so flawless. I put my AirPods in and they work on my phone, but then I go to my computer
the
and it just
Sennheisers,
switches.
If I remember correctly, are true wireless, because all the true wireless stuff runs off the same thing.
Does it?
Yeah,
I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
It might work totally fine, but to me it's just stunning how on my phone I can copy something and paste it on my Mac with no hesitation. Or I can open up a Safari link on my phone and go to my Mac, and there's this tiny little icon in the bottom right that'll come up that's like, oh, you're on your phone Safari, and I can click it and it opens the same web page. Like, to me, it's just so amazing how the Apple ecosystem works. My watch knows everything. I can walk in the house. It knows when I get home. Like, I love that. So to get me out of the Apple ecosystem is going to be hard. And currently I'm not looking to, but that'll be a hard move for sure. But that's why I like all the Apple
I
stuff.
just wonder when they're
it
going to
works.
make a car.
So they're working on a car. They've been working on a car for a long period of time now. And that's something I'm a little concerned about. Is what if the car comes out in 3 years and I have, like, I'm also not 100% sure that I'd want to go with the first car that Apple or anyone comes out with. You know,
Well,
do you want to buy the very
I feel like
first
they're going
car?
to make their first one, and then literally a year later they're going to release a second one, which is exponentially better.
Yeah.
That's the same
they're
thing that
working
happens
with,
Tesla.
they have to work with other companies.
I want to touch on that comment.
The
real quick.
USB-C?
USB-C?
Yeah.
Yes, Europe has passed the law.
Yeah.
They have to switch to USB-C.
It's not going to change the others, though.
I don't know
It's
about
very
that.
unlikely.
Because it's going to be so much cheaper for them to just make one.
But the amount of waste that is created with all the cables, that's why they haven't done it yet. And why they're like making a very slow transition with all of their other devices, because there are billions of lightning cables around the world that still work.
Yeah.
So to switch to USB-C, Apple knows, and they've started with their eco-friendly stuff. It's all made out of recycled aluminum now. Their packaging is nothing. They no longer wrap it in plastic. Like, they're really trying, quote-unquote trying, with the...
Apple is net zero.
Yeah, that's true.
On their waste,
they are really trying with their stuff. So they've said
Jack.
to switch to USB-C, there would be billions of cables in the world that cables never get recycled. They get thrown away. So that's just so unlikely that things are going to, that's their concern. Now they just switched the iPad, the regular iPad, I think, to USB-C. The EU is now doing the USB-C. So I think in the next few years they're going to almost have to. But
what Apple could have done, and I feel like the other phone companies would have agreed to it, is if Apple released the patent on the Lightning cable and made that the universal thing.
That's true.
I feel like
actually,
other companies would have accepted
Lightning
that.
cable is a very good connector. It's thinner than USB-C. Yeah, it's actually like Lightning is a brilliant connector. Their upgrade from the old like 20 or 30 pin one that they had that clicked in, the Lightning is fantastic. I think I just said it's thinner, so it's actually like overall it's a better connector and stuff. The only thing now that could be the downfall of Lightning is the new iPhones record in ProRes at 4K up to 60 frames per second, which is amazing. It's an incredible codec. I mean, movies, depending what the movie is shot in that codec. It's the easiest thing to work with on almost any computer. Phenomenal quality footage and stuff, and the new iPhones do it. And ProRes is an Apple codec that they can license out to people and stuff. But Lightning is potentially going to start to struggle if you're having to send things out specifically to an external recorder that's recording that footage, where USB-C, or in Apple's case, Thunderbolt 3, same connector, could send 40 gigabytes a second or 60 or whatever it is now. So I could see them in the next few years switching, but they've said the reason they're not is because of the waste that it's going to create over another thing they've said is since people constantly switch their phones out, if they switch, it's likely that, like, I think I read something that said 90% of the people who have an iPhone within 3 years will have the next version of an iPhone. So Apple said that within that 3-year period, 90% of the Lightning cables in the world will be thrown away, which will cause a big problem with whatever. So maybe
but I feel like if
maybe
they
what
really
Apple
wanted to, they could, if they put resources into it, they could figure out a way to recycle them.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It'd be smart if when you upgrade your phone from an old phone that has Lightning versus USB-C, when you ship your phone back to Apple, if you ship your phone back to Apple and they give you the credit, maybe they have a separate little sleeve next to it that says any Lightning cables that you're no longer going to use stick in here, and they could recycle that. So I don't know. That's a good idea or something, but
well, I mean, if they can find some way to break them down into something and reuse them for something else, then they could profit off of that.
Oh, they can.
So
it would cost them more than making new ones, but because they're actually looking at the eco-friendly stuff, I would assume that they would. Yeah, Dunder Mifflin Burko says the transfer rate on USB-C is insane. Exactly. That's why I think now that they have something on the phone that records 6 gigabytes a minute or whatever, like you actually can't buy the lowest model iPhone at 128 gigabytes. I think you need to upgrade to the 256 for it to even be able to record, because every minute it records 6 gigabytes of footage or something. It's insane. It's crazy actually. But that, I think the new ProRes 4K 60 frames per second on the new iPhone 13 Pros likely could be the downfall of the Lightning connector in the next year to
that's
2
a
years.
terabyte in like 15 minutes.
Ben got the 512. Yeah, so you, I think, can then record 4K ProRes at 60 frames per second, I believe. Which is pretty amazing.
That's insane.
Really
we need
amazing.
to wrap it up.
Okay, we will wrap it up here. So, sounds more like PR talk. Soulful. Is that what you're doing?
Well, I kind of. So I wrote a report on Apple in high school. Yeah, it was in high school. I will say that I'm not an Apple fanboy, so I actually was writing from the opposite side. And after reading a bunch of reports that Apple has released on what they do for eco-friendly, I have to say that I think, obviously, if it wasn't profitable, they wouldn't be doing it. But I think that there is some genuine desire there, at least in the fact that they have managed to become one of the very few net zero waste companies, which means that they don't, basically everything that enters the Apple ecosystem gets reused in some way so that it doesn't really exit it in net, right? So obviously there is some waste, but they remove as much from the environment as they add.
They also, it's all powered off solar, clean energy, like all their facilities now.
So I mean, it definitely is somewhat PR because they get to say that, but also from a profitability standpoint, they reuse so much stuff that other companies just throw away, which means they don't have to buy it a second time.
Well, something cool, I guess, with Apple is if you buy an iPhone, they ask, do you have a phone to trade in? And you can send them any phone.
That's the same thing that almost all phone companies do.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never bought another phone.
Well, I mean,
Except, like,
it's
the first
way
one.
less on the stuff that you see. Like, when I read the report, it's way less on the stuff that you see, like turning in a phone or whatever. That has, like, probably a single-digit percentile effect on their, waste. It's all the stuff behind the scenes, like, cobalt processing for the batteries.
Right,
and
actually
plastic waste from, shipping stuff internally. Gases on cars, all those things. Now, I mean, obviously, it's still a for-profit company; it should be suspect. But it does appear that they do, to some degree, take a hit. But they also invest a lot of R&D into how much they can reuse stuff to make more money off of it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think they're also thinking ahead, because at some point, it's going to be so expensive to harvest or to mine aluminum or whatever out of the earth that they potentially, not right now, are saving money, but in 40 years or 30 years, which I'm assuming they're not planning on going out of business in 30 years, they'll still have already the resources and the infrastructure in place that could allow them to save money at some point.
Yeah, no, Soulflame, you're right. And that's kind of what I was talking about, is how they optimize that stuff. Because like I said, it's net, not no. So they do cause destruction. But anyway, I can... If you ping me in Discord...
You'll send the
because
paper?
otherwise I will not forget. If you ping me...
You will forget.
Probably not today. Yeah, sorry, I will forget. I probably can't do it today, but if you do ping me and remind me, I will try to get you the paper. But I will have to go back to high school and in my Google Drive and try and find it. But anyway, let's be done, because
I don't know,
we're not
James.
gonna finish stuff.
I'm not sure. I know depending on what the phone is, they take it apart and reuse the parts. Other than that, I'm not entirely sure if they refurbish it and resell it. I don't know. But after a year, they don't sell every model again anyway, so I can't imagine that they refurbish every phone they get back. It doesn't make sense. So, not really sure. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is a weird stream for sure. We had a lot of interesting chat, and by a lot I mean one person.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, thank you guys for eating with us, for those of you who maybe had a snack while you watched, and for letting us have fun talking to you. And Ben, you should have gone to bed a long time ago. Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, have a good question, Soulflame. I don't know. Have a good rest of your day.